everybody, and welcome to today's video. So as you guys can see from the title, we are finally talking about the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty Fall 2025 sale. So I ended up purchasing these back in September, and I decided to take 2 months to really fully go ahead and use these products, gather my thoughts, and now we are finally going to be discussing everything that I picked up and my thoughts and anything else that I want to comment on. Let's get started. So let's start off with their pre-sale items. So the first thing I ended up picking up is this Nars Blush in OX. So after testing this out, this actually just sits on the skin. So it's not texture enhancing, but it definitely just ends up sitting on the skin. I do admit though that the shade is absolutely stunning. It's very glowy, it's very pretty. But in these 2 months that I've been just testing this out and using this, I have noticed that compared to some of the older formulations that I have, even though they are in a matte version, I can definitely see a difference in formulation. It is such a pretty shade, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to get a lot more use out of it during the spring. Now, the next time, I don't actually have it physically. I don't know where it went, but it's the Kylie lip butter, and I ended up getting in the shade She's Lovely. Now, I absolutely hate the packaging. I don't like it how you can just twist it and you can't twist it back down. It's just really not my type of packaging, but the formula is very comfortable. It's definitely more like a tinted lip balm. It does have quite a bit of pigment, so you can definitely see it on pigmented lips like mine. It's really pretty. I think this is a really good product if you kind of suffer with dry lips and you're looking for a product that needs a little bit of moisture but does offer quite a bit of pigment. So that is everything that I ended up picking up for pre-sale. So now we're going to moving on to everything that I picked up once the sale has started by the week. So they did have a full week sale. So I ended up picking up these 3 items, the Kopari Pink and Guava Mist. So this is both hair and body. This one smells so good. Now I was definitely not thinking of picking this up, but I saw it on the pre-sale and I ordered it to be picked up just to try it out because I was like really interested in it. It smells really good. This was such a good purchase. I've been really loving it. Now once I picked it up, it was definitely not the season, so I probably only got like 3 uses out of it before it started turning into more fall or a little bit more colder, and then we started using my fall fragrances. I'm kind of shocked that this came out for the fall 21 days. This definitely would have been perfect for the spring 21 days of beauty because this is definitely more of a spring and summer scent, but I've been absolutely loving it. I did end up picking up the Buxom Powerline Plumping Lip Liners. Now, I am quite familiar with this product. I did have some that I picked up in sets that I got over Christmas, so this is a quite familiar product to me. I love these. They're quite long lasting. They're very creamy. They glide onto the lips very nicely. Now I know this is plumping, but I don't see any plumping effect. I don't see really anything of that effect on my lips, but they are definitely a really good formulation and they're very underrated. I really stand by Buxom. It is completely underrated and we need to keep checking them out. I also did end up picking up the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Mattifying Mist. Now, I did not expect to really like this. I've made quite a bit of progress in the last 2 months. I want to say that I'm like over here. I really fell in love with this. Now the packaging is very sleek. It's very simple. Now I loved the mist on it. It's very fine on it. And it just goes onto the skin really nicely. It melts all the powders that I needed to. But it doesn't leave a tightening feel. And that's definitely something that I've been looking for in a lot of the sprays that I've been testing out. But this one was just, it's so good. And this definitely does keep the skin mattified. Now, I do have extremely oily skin, so it's kind of like a little bit harder to really fully have a full matte. But compared to a lot of my other sprays, this has definitely been one of the most mattifying ones that last quite a bit. Next up is the Lancome foundation in the shade 345N. Now I did go and get shade match for this prior to the sale, so I already knew what shade I was going to go in with. Now I really fell in love with this foundation. It goes onto the skin really nicely. It doesn't enhance any of my texture. It's just so pretty. It makes the skin just look really good. Now this was supposed to be a candidate for my networking makeup bag, and unfortunately it hasn't really made it. I tested it out and I didn't necessarily like it for my networking makeup bag, but I love it for school. I love it for just easy, simple makeup days. It's very pretty. You can do a very light layer to do a simple everyday look, but you can go in a little bit more with extra and do more of a full glam with this. So it's a very versatile foundation. and I'm really been loving it. I did end up picking up one of the MAC gel liner pencils. Now I ended up getting the shade of Full Sleeve, which is more of this nude tone. Now this is definitely way on the longer lasting side compared to a lot of the eye pencils that I have. I've been quite, like, I always talk about how I can never find one that actually works for my watery eyes. Now, even though this doesn't really last the way that I want it to, it's definitely the longest lasting that I have tried so far. So we are getting there. I just haven't really found a formula that fully works for me, but I really like it. It's definitely smooth. It goes onto the eyes, and it is a buildable, so you can go with one coat, wait a little bit, and then go in with another coat. So it's really pretty, and it's extremely comfortable. It is gel twistable liner, so you don't run the risk of like scratching your eye with like the pencil sharpener ones. So this was really good. Next up, I picked up two Laura Geller baked blushes in the shades Pink Buttercream and Ethereal Rose. Now, you guys know my absolute love for Laura Geller. I love these, so I tested them out. They're so pretty. They add this really lovely, healthy glow to the skin. It's not texture enhancing. It just looks so pretty. You move and it moves with you. It's a really stunning formulation. Now, this is what I wanted the NARS to be, and it used to be this like more shimmery formulation. It used to be what this is giving, but this was just so good. I love the packaging. It isn't a baked formula, so it just looks really pretty. I also picked up the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Melting Bronzer and Sculpting Stick in the shade Chocolate Souffle. I absolutely love this. This is so creamy. It just goes onto the skin so smoothly. It's very easy to blend out. You don't necessarily need to go in with a lot of it, but you also can. If you go in with too much, you can still blend it out. It's just one of those formulations that you really cannot mess up. And I've been absolutely in love with this one. I think this is honestly one of my favorite products that I've tried. I've made quite a bit of progress, not a ton. I've been testing out other ones in the meantime, but in the last 2 months that I've been testing this out, I love it. And it smells really, really good. It does smell like chocolate. So that is quite a plus for me. Even though I don't really eat chocolate and all the time, I do really love the smell of it. I did end up picking up both the REM Sweetener foundation and the foundation brush. Now, I love these two. So the REM foundation is definitely a thicker formula. It is a little bit more heavy. You do feel it on the skin, but it does offer a really pretty, healthy, but fuller coverage look. It's not texture enhancing. It's definitely a little bit more drier, so you can. So I've been testing this out with quite a bit of primers in my collection, and it doesn't go with every single one. This is definitely a trial and error in terms of primers, but I have been really, really loving it. So far, my favorite primer has been the Ulta Beauty Collection one. I think it just looks really good with that one. Now, the foundation brush, I fell in love with this. It's like, it definitely works so well with the foundation, and it works well with other foundations. You can also go in with cream bronzer. It is quite dirty. I've used it a ton, and I did wash it, and it just ended up, like, it stayed in place. So it's a really good, it has quite a bit of density, but you can like blend everything out. This is just so good. I really fell in love with this, and I'm actually considering getting another one, even though I have to pay full price, because it's just that good. I did end up picking up some Buxom lip polishes, so I got the shades Sugar, Starr, Brandi, and Claire. I love this formula. I absolutely just love Buxom, so I purchased these four, and after the sale, I ended up just finding a lot more at Marshalls and TJ Maxx. So this made me rediscover my love for this formulation, to the point where 2 months later, I'm continually buying this every time I find another shade that I don't have. These are just so pretty. So I ended up getting more of like these purpley shades specifically from this sale. They're just so pretty. So they have a little bit of glitters. This one has a little bit more shine to it. And these two also have a ton of shine. Now, these were kind of just like, I'm hoping that I like them. Now, at the time of purchasing this, I could not find any shade swatches for these, so I was really just hoping that I liked them, and I'm so glad that I did. I ended up picking up these shades that are quite unique to my collection, and they have added a lot of uniqueness to my collection. Even 2 months later, I've been absolutely reaching for these a ton in the fall. I really picked some good shades for the fall, but I wanted to note that I cannot find shade swatches for these, so I really want to do a video dedicated to this because it took so long. It took so much research, and even then I didn't find shade swatches for, I want to say, Starr, and then I know Sugar is quite popular. I think Sugar and Claire I could find swatches of, but these were like, if I like them, hopefully I do. I could not find them, and I don't know, like, now I ended up picking up so many lip products from About Face. So starting off with their lip liners, I got a whole bunch. So I went in store, I fell in love with the formulas. They were a very limited section of About Face in all of the Ultas around me, so I got a couple. In store, and then I immediately came home to purchase more before the sale ended for About Face that day. Now, I got a whole bunch. So I picked up a whole bunch, but my favorite shade has to be Midnight Seduction. I've used this quite a bit. This is my favorite one. It's like such a pretty mauve-ish purple, but it just works with a lot of different lip combos. This one's definitely my favorite. But these are just so good. These are definitely like fall shades. So in the last 2 months that I've been testing them out, I actually ended up discovering that these were definitely a trial and error product. They definitely had a drier formulation, so they kind of had a little bit of a texture enhancing over here. I have a lot of little lip lines, so it kind of enhanced that a little bit until I finally discovered that with these you need to go on with dry lips, like fully dry lips. And I know it was definitely odd for me when I discovered that because I'm so used to doing some sort of lip prep anytime I do my makeup. So going in with just fully dry lips was so odd, but that is how you get the best outcome with these. These have been so long lasting. They go on really smooth, but fully dry lips. If you have any sort of like moisture on your lips, it like definitely just kind of, it's not patchy, it's not splotchy. It just doesn't go on right. Like it could go on better. So definitely a trial and error, but I finally discovered how I love them. And I've been nonstop reaching for them, especially this shade Midnight Seduction. I also picked up 2 of their Cherry Pick lip butters in the shades Pink Pina and Nashi Pear. Now, these remind me so much of the Tarte Maracuja lippies, but they definitely have a lot more pigment to them. So if you love the Tarte Maracuja, like the lip feeling, that plumpingness, and like the way the formula is, but you want a little more pigment, I would highly recommend getting these. I love these. They are very comfortable. They're moisturizing. The plumpingness isn't too lingering. It's not too strong. It's definitely way more comfortable compared to some other products that are on the market. But I've been loving this. Pink Pina was such a love during like the first time that I bought it, and then I've been really reaching for a Nashi Pear lately because it's definitely more of a warmer brown. So pairing with this with like one of the darker lip liners, it just goes so good. I also ended up picking up 2 of their matte lip plumps. So I got the shades Coquette and Side Eye. This is so K-beauty coated. This reminds me so much of Petit Peta. It has the same velvety, moussey texture that the Petit Peta ink velvets has, and then it dries down the same. I don't know, if you were to tell me that this was the Petit Peta lip tint, I would believe you because the formulation is so, like, it literally, to me, in my head, it's almost exact. And that says a lot because I haven't had those Petit Peta ink velvets in my collection since years. And I am also talking about the older formulation. I don't really know if Petit Peta has updated that, but I am talking about the way older formula. That's probably from like maybe like 2019, 2018, around that time. But it's so pretty. But it's not like, even though I say that as like 2018, 2019, it's not outdated. It works for the time. It's very pretty. It's long lasting. The stain that it leaves is really pretty because it's so pigmented and it is matte. It works with so many different lip combos. It's a perfect base lip. I've just been really reaching for these. And lastly, I ended up picking up this lip gloss in the shade Wish You Were Here. This one is so pretty. Now, when you guys are watching this, my October favorites was uploaded already, and this was definitely a standout product during October. And I did mention that this is also a K-beauty coated. It's very lightweight. It has this serum formulation. It almost feels like a skincare product for your lips. It's really, really pretty, and it does remind me of a mixture of the textures that we see in the Petit Peta ink velvets, but in the lightweight feel of the Dear Darling tints from Etude House. Now, those 2 formulations are definitely older. They're like from 2019, but it works so well with this. Like, I love it, and it's something that I don't see anywhere. And I'm devastated that people don't really talk about these, because these are just so good. It's very pigmented too, so for something that's super pigmented and it's still moisturizing and it still feels lightweight, this was such a standout product, and we need more people to talk about this. I did end up picking up 4 blushes from Urban Decay's Face Bomb line. Now, I absolutely love the Face Bomb line. It is so underrated. I do have the foundation, and when I saw that the blushes were going to be on sale, I knew that I had to pick them up. These are stunning. They have this really pretty blurring factor, so they are a matte blush, and they just glide onto the skin so beautifully. They're not texture enhancing, and this is the first ever formula that I tried, and I didn't need to go in with the blush combo because I have so much texture. I always need to go in with the blush combo because product tends to just get stuck here. I have a lot of texture, so it's not shocking that I have to do that, but with this I really didn't need to, and that definitely impressed me. And I've been reaching for these quite a bit. I did pick up this more baby pink shade, this more brighter pink shade. I've been really reaching for this one. This one's my all-time favorite from this line. It's the shade called Back Talk. It's more of this mauve-ish pink. It's really pretty for fall. I've been heavily reaching for this one, but they're so beautiful, and we need more people to talk about these because these are just so good for all textured people, because like the way that this just goes on, I just can't get over it. Now, this was definitely just a funsies purchase. So this is the Snip Vanilla Vice. Now, I hear so many good things about this, so when I saw that this was going on sale, I didn't care for it at the time, and then I decided, you know what, let me just try it because I knew fall was coming around. So I was like, you know what, maybe I should, because then I'm gonna regret it. And I'm really glad that I did end up picking it up. But look at the packaging. I absolutely love it. Now, this definitely made me rethink my theory and kind of confirm it, honestly, because I smelled the tester of this at Ulta Beauty when I went in store, and the tester did not smell like this, but this smells so much better. Now, this is supposed to smell like vanilla ice cream. I personally do not get vanilla ice cream. It definitely has this sweetness to it, but it's not like ice cream. It definitely has more of like a spicy vanilla, but I've been really loving it. And my favorite fragrance combo that I have used is this so far is the Johnson's Shea and Cocoa Butter Oil, using Philosophy's Fresh Cream Warm Cashmere Body Lotion, and then using their EDT, and then topping this all off will give you such a sweet and very gourmand vanilla. So if you are looking for a fragrance combo, I would recommend that. But this definitely is long lasting. I think this is one of my most long lasting vanilla fragrances, and I don't own many, so there's also that. Now, I did end up picking up a backup of my Estee Lauder Double Wear in the same shade 2W2 Rattan. Now, this is my all-time favorite networking makeup bag foundation. It really has been standing the test. Now, as I'm filming this, I have gone to more networking events, and this definitely has stood the test. I love it, and I'm so glad that I ended up picking up a backup, so I have a fresh one. I'm already halfway done with my original one, so this is going to be coming very in handy once the spring networking events arrive, because I'm probably going to be finishing this up. So glad that I got a backup at a really good price. I did end up picking up some lippies from ABH. So starting with their lip liners, I ended up picking up these 4 in Auburn, Stormy, Hazelnut, and Amber Peach. Now, with these, I could definitely see why these are expensive and why they are priced the way that they are. Now, this is the formula that really opened up my perspective on more higher end lip liners. Definitely have a different feel to them. The texture of these, it goes on so smoothly. I don't really gotta like move too much. They set kind of on their own. It's so much easier. Like, you definitely see the price in this formulation. Now, my favorite one of the bunch is Peach Amber. I really love the lip combos that I've made with this so far. I also ended up picking up these 2 matte velvets in the shade Rosy Mauve and Hush Rose. These are very pretty, and these are also K-Beauty coated. These remind me so much of the Petty Petta Ink Velvets, but they have more of a luxe feel and definitely a more updated version. Now, considering this is a matte lip product, this is definitely way updated compared to what we used to see back in the day, probably in around like 2016. This doesn't give you that like weird look to your lips. They're non-drying. They go on really smoothly. They glide onto the lips, and the shades are so pretty too. I also ended up picking up this Lake and Sky 1111 Azure Eau de Parfum, but can we take a moment for the packaging? It matches my top or my cardigan, but look, it's so cute. It's so pretty. I absolutely love the packaging. It's a book. I love this. So I am familiar with this product before I ended up purchasing it. I got my sister one quite a bit ago. I want to say early during the summer. So I was already familiar with this. So when I saw that this was going at 50% off, first off, I laughed because I literally got one for my sister probably like 2 months before the sale, and then it went on sale. But I also was super excited because then that means I could get one for myself at a much cheaper price, because I absolutely loved hers, and I did end up taking hers for quite a bit, but I did give it back to her because I have my own. But this smells so good. It literally smells like this. The way that they designed this is perfect for this fragrance. Now, my favorite fragrance combo for this one has to be the Philosophy Baby Grace Emulsion, and then using a Bath & Body Works Platinum Body Mist, and then using this to top it all off. You can really get like this very clean, fresh, it's very calming fragrance combo, and I would absolutely recommend this fragrance combo for this one because it's just so good. I absolutely love that one. That was like my favorite fragrance combo. I think I wore that in September. It's so good. It's such a beautiful one. But I love this one. I think this is one of my favorite purchases. And for the amount that I have used this, I haven't made a ton of progress. I made like a tiny little dent, but not too much. But this one's just so good. It's really pretty. It's appropriate for work. It's appropriate for school. I'm thinking of putting this in my office fragrance. I haven't tested it out for a networking event just yet, but I am thinking that this would be a really good addition to my networking fragrance collection. Now, this is the last item that I got during the sale. So this is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I ended up getting it in the original. Now, I get it. I finally get it. So this is definitely a very popular back in the day, like very 2016, and I've always wanted to try this. So I was so excited. I was a little hesitant. I didn't really want to buy this, but then I'm so glad that I did. I do see the difference. This definitely went on so smoothly, but it dried and it set down nicely, and it definitely gave this long-lasting effect to my eyeshadows without creasing. Like, this really didn't crease a ton. So I do see the difference in prices because I'm very used to like my affordable. To me, in my head, I don't think eyeshadow primers need to be expensive, but I do get it with this one. I do get it. Like, it made my pigment very nicely. I didn't see any formulations that went bad with this. It just looked good, and I get it, and I'm really glad that I got it. Now, at the end of the sale, they did do a relaunch of certain things. So this is a little category of I love them so much that I ended up getting more. So I did end up picking up more lippy products from About Face. I really fell in love with About Face this sale. So I ended up getting 2 other of their Light Lock lip glosses in the shades Angel on Fire and Adore Me. I am so excited. I've been reaching for this one in the fall. And then this one's just so pretty. It's more of this pinky rosy beige shade. And then I ended up picking up 2 more lip liners in the shades Smoking Room and Lockdown. So I think this would be, I got these ones so they can match with these ones. And then I didn't have these shades in the lip liners already, so I thought these would pair really, really good. And then I ended up really falling in love with the Cherry Pick lip butter. So I ended up getting Kiwi Fuzz and Pamplemousse. I really wanted this one in store and I couldn't find it at all. And then I just didn't pick it up online when I made my other order. So I'm really glad that they ended up relaunching this because I ended up getting these 2 shades and I've been loving them. I also ended up picking up 2 more lip polish from Buxom. So I ended up getting the shades Princess and Gabby. So now they're definitely more fall shades, but they're so pretty. Now, the shade Gabby is such a stunning plum purple, and then the shade Princess is more of a lavender with a little bit of this goldish hue to it. And the last item is Laura Geller's. So this one was actually really good because if you bought something from Laura Geller, you also got a free lip jelly balm. Now, I really just wanted the lip jelly balm because I've always wanted to try this, but I took the opportunity to pick up another shade of their baked blush, so I ended up getting the pink grapefruit one. Now, I've been really, really loving this one. It's so pretty. It's definitely more on the faller tone. I've been really reaching for this on a 10. And then the Jelly Bomb is in the shade Sugar and Spice. Now it's so pretty. I love it. I haven't had time to test it out, so I haven't tested this one out, but I really love the baked formula. Now I did do a video on what I was going to pick up, but I want to talk about some products and do a little subcategory right now of what I skipped but I don't regret getting. So the first thing is the Fenty foundation. Now I was thinking of picking this up, but honestly it just couldn't find my shade. I found my shade and I thought I did, and then I decided I really didn't need it. The formula seemed a little bit more outdated at the time when I was going to pick it up, that I was like, I think I could live without it at the moment, so I don't regret not getting that. Now the last thing is the Marc Jacobs Daisy Love. I didn't realize that this fragrance really shows up at Ross. Like, I've seen this so many times after the sale, and a lot cheaper than what the sale was giving the price as. So I'm thinking of picking this up instead at Ross, but I really don't regret not getting this from the sale because I definitely saved a lot more. And I just really didn't need the price that Ulta was giving it at. Now, alongside that, I do want to talk about what I regret not getting. So there was some products that I did miss out on, either because I just didn't want to pay for shipping and I couldn't meet the requirements, or I just couldn't get my hands on it. So the first thing is the 7 Dime perfume. Now this one smells so good. I ended up going to smell it in store and I really fell in love with it, but I couldn't get it in store. And then when I went to go get it online, it was sold out. So I completely missed out on that and I really regret not picking that up. Hopefully I can get it someday, but I really do regret not getting that. Next up is the Nars blushes. Now I actually have beef with this because I added them to my cart. I was so ready to purchase 4 of the shades, and then I added them to cart and then they said it was sold out. I waited all night long for this to be uploaded and nothing. I added them to cart and they said no, and then I was like, okay, maybe it's the website. Maybe I'll wake up even earlier and then I'll get it. So I woke up early, all shades were in stock. I added them to cart and once again, out of stock. It's so you could add them to cart, but you couldn't buy it because it would say, oh, it's out of stock. But then it says it's in stock online. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that. Now, this did also happen last 21 Days of Beauty during the spring for the Lorac blushes. Now, I never did my video on that, but I wanted the Lorac blushes too, and it did the same thing. And then I thought that they were going to relaunch the Nabla blushes for when they relaunched everything. It did not. I don't get it. And then the Nabla blushes just disappeared from Ulta's online website altogether. So I can't even find them anywhere. And I'm devastated because they had such a stunning mauve color and it had this blurring factor to it. And I wanted to test it out. But clearly, they didn't want me to because I couldn't even put it into my cart without it saying it's out of stock. Now, the next item is the Clinique Black Honey Lip Oil. At the time, I forgot about this. I don't know what I was picking up instead, and then I realized after I got home that I didn't pick up the Clinique Black Honey Oil, and then it relaunched, and I decided I also didn't need it. But now after the sale, I'm like, I do miss that, and I do regret not getting that because I have been reaching for the Black Honey lipstick itself, and I was thinking, dang, like a lip oil would go with this really well, and especially right now with the fall time, lip oils is just what I've been loving reaching for, so I do regret not getting that. Next time is the Lancome Idole Concealer. Now, I did want to pick this up, but then I don't know why I didn't. I think I had another concealer that I was going to be picking up, and then I realized that I didn't pick up either, so I do regret not getting that. I just really wanted it so it can match my foundation and just also to try out the formula, but I didn't pick it up, so we'll never know. Hopefully it comes back on sale and I ended up picking it up again. And the last thing is the ABH highlighter. Now, my sister did end up picking up and it's just so pretty. It's so glittery. It just looks really nice on the skin. It definitely does look like a highlighter, but it had this really pretty glittery glow to it. And I really regret not getting that. I don't know. I was literally going to get it and then I just decided that I didn't need it. And now after I saw my sister have it, and I really do miss it. So hopefully it comes back on sale, but I might just end up getting it at a full price because it just looked that pretty. But that is the last thing that I regret not getting. Okay, everybody, so it's been a long time coming. A whole 2 months I finally tested out every item that I picked up from the fall 2025 Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. Now, this was so much fun. I got so many products. I'm so excited about all of this. I've been really loving a lot of these things, and I'm excited to see what my thoughts are going to be for the next fall. So next year is going to be 2026. So the fall 2026 Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I'm really excited. I probably will be doing an update video just to show you guys, just to share with you guys my final thoughts and like see where these products are a year later. But totally let me know what you guys ended up picking up for the 21 Days of Beauty. What did you miss out on? What do you regret not getting? What became an unknown favorite? Because there were some products that I didn't even realize that I was going to end up really loving. So totally let me know everything in the comments. But with that, this is really it for today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!